but I can hear her whispering.
Are you Riddick?
But if you want to survive,
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Riddick, Furya, often referred to as Riddick 4, is the highly anticipated fourth installment in the cult favorite sci-fi action franchise that began with Pitch Black in 2000, followed by the Chronicles of Riddick in 2004, and Riddick in 2013. The series revolves around the anti-hero Richard B. Riddick, a genetically enhanced human with exceptional combat skills, survival instincts, and the unique ability to see in the dark. Known for his morally ambiguous nature and anti-hero persona, Riddick has captivated audiences for over 2 decades, combining elements of science fiction, horror, and high-octane action. The latest installment promises to take the story in a new direction, focusing on Riddick's mysterious origins and his connection to his home planet, Furya, which has remained largely unexplored in previous films. The Riddick franchise has always been characterized by a strong combination of survival storytelling, intergalactic lore, and the exploration of complex characters. Pitch Black introduced audiences to Riddick as a dangerous fugitive stranded on a desert planet with a group of survivors, highlighting his tactical intelligence, resourcefulness, and violent capabilities in extreme situations. The Chronicles of Riddick expanded the scope to interstellar politics, featuring the oppressive Necromonger Empire and exploring Riddick's potential role as a prophesied savior figure. Riddick, 2013, returned to the more grounded survival-focused story, with Riddick stranded on a hostile planet, fighting monstrous predators while navigating alliances and betrayals. Each installment built upon Riddick's persona, emphasizing his adaptability, cunning, and resilience, while gradually revealing fragments of his past and the lore of the universe he inhabits. With Riddick, Furya, the franchise aims to combine the intimate survival storytelling of Pitch Black with the epic world-building of the second film while delving deeper into the origins of Riddick and his people. Directed and written by David Twohy, who has helmed all previous Riddick films, Riddick, Furya retains the creative vision and continuity that fans have come to expect. Vin Diesel, who has portrayed Riddick since the first film, not only stars but also serves as one of the producers, ensuring the character's authenticity and continuity remain intact. The production team includes Samantha Vincent, Torsten Schumacher, Lars Sylvestre, and Joe Neurotter, with production companies such as One Race Films, Rocket Science, and Thank You Studios involved in bringing the project to life. Distribution is set to be handled by Universal Pictures. These returning collaborators indicate a cohesive approach to storytelling, aiming to maintain the unique tone and atmosphere that has defined the Riddick universe for over 20 years. Riddick, Furya is set primarily on Riddick's homeworld, Furya, a planet shrouded in mystery and largely unexplored in the earlier films. The story is expected to explore his origins, the fate of his people, and the challenges of returning to a world that may have changed drastically since he left. Early synopsis reveals that Riddick will encounter other surviving Furyans who are fighting to reclaim their heritage and survive against a formidable new threat. The narrative promises to blend elements of survival, combat, and interstellar intrigue with an emphasis on identity, homecoming, and discovering hidden lineage. The film will likely explore the themes of belonging and self-discovery while retaining the action-driven, suspenseful atmosphere that has made the series popular. While details about the specific nature of the new enemy are scarce, speculation among fans suggests it could be a combination of monstrous creatures and antagonistic forces, continuing the franchise's tradition of blending sci-fi horror with action. Vin Diesel is confirmed to reprise his role as Richard B. Riddick, continuing his portrayal of the enigmatic anti-hero. While no other cast members have been officially announced, it is anticipated that new characters, including Furyan allies and adversaries, will be introduced. Fans are also speculating about potential returning characters from previous films, though nothing has been confirmed. Given the narrative focus on Riddick's homeworld, it is possible that the film will introduce a broader array of supporting characters, including other survivors, enemies, or leaders who will shape Riddick's journey and the fate of Furya. Filming for Riddick, Furya began in August 2024, with production taking place across multiple locations, including Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. These locations provide diverse landscapes and environments suitable for the alien worlds depicted in the film. The production schedule suggests that post-production will be extensive, particularly given the visual effects-heavy nature of the franchise, which combines futuristic technology, alien landscapes, and large-scale creature design. The involvement of seasoned filmmakers and production crews ensures a high-quality visual experience consistent with the franchise's established aesthetic, blending gritty realism with imaginative sci-fi elements. As of now, no official theatrical release date has been confirmed, though estimates suggest a potential release window between 2027 and 2028. This timing accounts for production, post-production, visual effects, and marketing, as well as scheduling considerations related to other projects involving Vin Diesel. Similarly, no official trailers or promotional materials have been released. Any videos circulating online labeled as trailers are largely fan-made or speculative teasers, and the studio has yet to provide a verified preview. Fans are eagerly anticipating announcements regarding the first look, marketing campaigns, and promotional tie-ins that will reveal more about the film's tone, visual style, and narrative focus. While much about Riddick, Furya remains under wraps, the project represents a significant evolution for the franchise. Unlike previous installments that primarily focused on survival, escape, and episodic adventures, Furya seeks to deepen the mythology of Riddick's universe by exploring his origins, his people, and the political and environmental dynamics of his homeworld. The film is expected to balance intense action sequences, suspenseful survival moments, and deeper character exploration. Themes of identity, legacy, and resilience are likely to play a central role, with Riddick confronting the consequences of his past and the responsibilities of his lineage. This combination of personal storytelling and epic sci-fi world-building positions Riddick, Furya as a pivotal chapter in the ongoing saga. In addition to exploring Riddick's homeworld, the film may expand the franchise's lore regarding the Furyans, potentially revealing new abilities, cultural practices, or historical conflicts. By highlighting Riddick's heritage and placing him in a context that challenges both his physical and moral capabilities, the story aims to provide a richer understanding of the character while maintaining the tension and unpredictability that has always defined the series. The inclusion of a new enemy or monstrous threat aligns with the franchise's established formula of blending action and horror, providing both narrative stakes and visually spectacular set pieces. Although the full cast, specific plot twists, and detailed storylines remain unconfirmed, the combination of David Twohy's direction, Vin Diesel's portrayal of Riddick, and the experienced production team provides confidence in the continuity and quality of the project. Fans have long anticipated a return to Riddick's homeworld, and Furya promises to fulfill that expectation while expanding the scope of the narrative universe. By delving into Riddick's origins and exploring the fate of his people, the film offers an opportunity to deepen the emotional resonance of the character and provide a satisfying evolution for longtime followers of the series. In conclusion, Riddick, Furya represents a highly anticipated continuation of one of modern science fiction's most enduring franchises. With a focus on Riddick's origins, his homeworld, and the survival of the Furyans, the film promises to combine action, suspense, and deep mythology in a way that honors the legacy of the previous films while pushing the story into new territory. Vin Diesel's return as the titular character, combined with David Twohy's consistent vision as director and writer, ensures continuity and authenticity. While many details remain unconfirmed, including the full cast, plot specifics, and release date, the production has generated significant anticipation among fans eager to witness the next chapter in Riddick's saga. The film is poised to blend high-octane action with deeper narrative exploration, promising a compelling and visually stunning addition to the Riddick universe, one that explores identity, homecoming, and the enduring struggle for survival in a harsh, expansive, and dangerous universe. The long-running saga of Richard B. Riddick, one of science fiction cinema's most iconic antiheroes, is set to continue with the upcoming fourth installment, Riddick, Furya. This film, often referred to by fans as Riddick 4, promises to explore the dark, mysterious origins of Riddick's character, taking him back to his birth planet, Furya. Unlike previous entries in the franchise, which focused either on isolated survival scenarios, pitch black, or sprawling interstellar conflicts, the Chronicles of Riddick, this installment is expected to delve into Riddick's heritage and the survival of his species, the Furyans. The story aims to blend high-stakes action with deeper mythological elements, offering fans a rare glimpse of Riddick's past. Officially, Riddick, Furya is being written and directed by David Twohy, who helmed all prior films in the series. Vin Diesel returns in the lead role, reprising the title character whose combination of brutal combat skill, cunning intelligence, and moral ambiguity has captivated audiences for more than 2 decades. The film is produced under banners such as One Race Films, Rocket Science, and Thank You Studios. Production announcements indicate that filming was scheduled to begin on August 26, 2024, across locations in Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. These plans suggest a commitment to high production values and visually striking landscapes suitable for depicting Riddick's homeworld and the Furyan culture. The official plot synopsis is deliberately vague but intriguing. Riddick is expected to return to Furya, confronting the remnants of his own people who are struggling to survive against a mysterious and formidable new enemy. While details of the antagonist remain undisclosed, the narrative promises to explore themes of identity, legacy, and survival. By focusing on his homeworld and the remaining Furyans, the film marks a narrative departure from the series' prior focus on solitary survival or galactic-scale warfare. It is a rare opportunity to explore Riddick's roots, his connection to his race, and his personal destiny within the wider universe. Despite these official details, much of the information circulating online comes from rumors and fan speculation. One recurring theory suggests that the villain of Furya could be a character named Amadak, possibly controlling or threatening Furya. Fans have speculated about the existence of multiple Furyans, or even clones, suggesting that the film could explore themes of identity and inheritance in ways not previously seen. Other fan theories suggest that the movie might revisit unresolved elements from earlier films, such as the Underverse or the Threshold, potentially linking Riddick's personal story with the broader cosmic mythology established in the Chronicles of Riddick. There is also significant speculation about returning characters. While Vin Diesel is confirmed, other past characters, such as Vaco or figures tied to the Necromonger Empire, remain unconfirmed but are highly anticipated by the fanbase. Some fans hope that Karl Urban could reprise his role, potentially creating narrative links between Riddick's past conflicts and the current threat on Furya. However, no official announcements have confirmed supporting cast members beyond Diesel, leaving these theories speculative. Fan-made content has further fueled excitement and confusion. Numerous trailers and promotional images labeled as official have circulated online, but most have been identified as fan creations, including AI-generated concepts or remixed footage from previous films. This has contributed to a mix of accurate anticipation and misinformation among fans. The official production team has released minimal visual content, mainly storyboard art and set images, which has kept the public guessing about the film's tone, scale, and visual style. The uncertain release date is another point of discussion. While earlier estimates suggested a possible mid-2025 release, the production timeline and pre-release updates indicate that the film is more likely to be released between 2027 and 2028, or possibly later. The long delays between previous installments have contributed to high anticipation but also created space for speculation. These delays also explain the abundance of rumors, as fans attempt to fill gaps in knowledge with their own interpretations of plot, characters, and themes. Thematically, Riddick, Furya appears poised to balance action, survival, and mythological depth. By returning to Riddick's homeworld, the film may explore the culture and history of the Furyans, offering a narrative richness that expands upon the established universe. It is likely that the film will incorporate the signature elements of the franchise, intense action sequences, morally complex decisions, and Riddick's distinctive combination of cunning and ferocity, while layering in an origin story that has long been anticipated by fans. In summary, while much of Riddick, Furya remains shrouded in mystery, what is known paints a picture of a film deeply connected to the roots of its protagonist. Official announcements confirm Vin Diesel and David Twohy's involvement, a return to Furya, and production across multiple European locations. Beyond that, fan speculation and rumors hint at a broader exploration of Furyan culture, new villains, and unresolved threads from the previous films. Until the official release or a verified trailer, much of the public's understanding of the film will continue to blend confirmed facts with enthusiastic conjecture, reflecting the enduring allure of Riddick's universe. Riddick, Furya is the fourth installment in the acclaimed science fiction action film series, The Chronicles of Riddick, following the earlier movies Pitch Black, 2000, The Chronicles of Riddick, 2004, and Riddick, 2013. The film is written and directed by David Twohy, who has been at the helm of all previous Riddick films, ensuring continuity in storytelling and style. Vin Diesel reprises his iconic role as Richard B. Riddick, the anti-hero whose adventures across distant planets and encounters with deadly forces have captivated audiences for more than 2 decades. The film is produced under Diesel's own banner, One Race Films, in collaboration with producers Samantha Vincent, Torsten Schumacher, Lars Sylvest, and Joe Neurotter, and is set to be distributed by Universal Pictures. The cinematography is reportedly being handled by Stefan Supek, further promising the visually striking aesthetic that the franchise is known for. The premise of Riddick, Furya revolves around the titular character returning to his home planet, Furya, a world he barely remembers and fears may have been devastated by past conflicts, including the destructive forces of the Necromongers. Upon his arrival, Riddick discovers that his people, the Furians, have not been entirely wiped out. Some survivors are more like him than he could have imagined, fighting for survival against a new and mysterious threat. This sets the stage for the movie to explore Riddick's origins, the history of the Furyan race, and the broader mythos of the Riddick universe. While specific plot points remain under wraps, the overarching narrative promises a blend of intense action, survival challenges, and deep lore that fans have long awaited. The return of David Twohy and Vin Diesel ensures a sense of continuity and fidelity to the original vision of the franchise. The previous films had left many questions about Riddick's heritage and the Furyan race unresolved, and Furya seeks to address these gaps. The film also represents Diesel's commitment to the franchise, as his production company's involvement signals a personal investment in ensuring that the character and universe are treated with care and ambition. For longtime fans, this project is both a continuation and a deeper exploration of the world they have followed for years, while also serving as a potential entry point for new viewers into Riddick's complex and dangerous universe. Production for Riddick, Furya officially began on August 26, 2024, with principal photography taking place across multiple European locations, including Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. The film has been carefully developed over the years, with initial discussions dating back several years and scripting completed as early as 2021. This meticulous preparation is expected to translate into a high-quality production with immersive visuals and expansive world-building. While Vin Diesel remains the only confirmed cast member at this stage, the narrative focus suggests that additional characters, particularly surviving Furians and new antagonists, will be revealed as production progresses. Visuals for the film have been teased through a combination of concept art and behind-the-scenes photographs. Concept art released publicly shows Riddick wielding his signature agility and combat prowess, often depicted with glowing energy effects that emphasize his unique abilities. Other images hint at alien landscapes, desert environments, and futuristic set designs, giving a sense of the scale and scope of Furya as a planet. Behind-the-scenes images reveal the actor in full costume and goggles, interacting with elaborate vehicles and set pieces, which suggests that the film will combine high-octane action sequences with rich environmental storytelling. Fans should note that while these visuals are promising, some may still be pre-production concepts, and final designs could evolve before the film's release. As of now, no official release date has been announced for Riddick, Furya, and no trailer has been confirmed, although fan speculation and media reports suggest a possible release window between 2025 and 2028. The absence of confirmed supporting cast, trailer, and promotional material means that much of the audience's anticipation is built on premise, concept visuals, and the reputation of the original creative team. Despite these uncertainties, the film holds significant promise, as it represents both a continuation and a deepening of the franchise, aiming to satisfy longtime fans while offering fresh storytelling elements. The movie's significance lies not only in its action-packed sequences and sci-fi aesthetics but also in its potential to finally answer lingering questions about Riddick's origins and the Furyan race. The creative team's focus on exploring Riddick's heritage and presenting a deeper mythology is likely to set the film apart from its predecessors. Moreover, the production's attention to visual style, world-building, and narrative coherence underscores its potential to be a defining entry in the franchise. For fans of mature, gritty science fiction, the film promises a compelling combination of suspense, adventure, and exploration of complex themes like identity, survival, and legacy. Fan expectations are high, with hopes that the movie will balance intense action with meaningful storytelling. There is anticipation for visually spectacular alien environments, engaging combat scenes, and further development of Riddick as a character, particularly in how he interacts with other Furians and confronts the new enemy threatening his people. While much remains speculative, the combination of Diesel's star power, Toohey's direction, and the franchise's established lore creates a sense of optimism for the film's reception. Success could pave the way for future installments, spin-offs, or expanded content within the Riddick universe. Overall, Riddick, Furya is shaping up to be a critical chapter in the Riddick saga, combining familiar elements with new explorations of character, culture, and mythology. With production underway, visuals already hinting at a rich and immersive world, and the promise of resolving long-standing narrative questions, the film is positioned to deliver an exciting experience for both fans and newcomers. While the release date and supporting cast details remain uncertain, the commitment of the creative team and the ambitious premise suggest that the movie will be a major event in science fiction cinema once it debuts. The Riddick franchise has always stood as a unique blend of sci-fi, horror, and action, capturing audiences with its antihero protagonist, Richard B. Riddick. From the stark desert survival of Pitch Black to the galactic-scale conflict of the Chronicles of Riddick and the primal intensity of Riddick, 2013, the series has combined intense action with an expansive, often mysterious universe. Now, after more than a decade since the last installment, fans are eagerly anticipating the fourth chapter, Riddick, Furya, which promises to delve into the origins of its titular character and explore the homeworld and heritage of the Furyan race. Unlike its predecessors, which focused on either isolated survival or large-scale interplanetary warfare, this film seeks to illuminate the backstory of Riddick himself, offering a narrative that blends action with mythological depth. Officially, Riddick, Furya is written and directed by David Toohey, who has helmed all previous films in the franchise, ensuring continuity in tone, style, and world-building. Vin Diesel returns as Riddick, bringing the same combination of physicality, cunning intelligence, and moral ambiguity that has defined the character since 2000. The production is backed by companies such as One Race Films, Rocket Science, and Thank You Studios, with filming scheduled across Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. The choice of international locations suggests a commitment to creating visually dynamic landscapes to represent Furya and the Furyan civilization, emphasizing both the alien beauty and harsh survival conditions that define the Riddick universe. The premise, as revealed by official sources, is straightforward yet enticing. Riddick returns to Furya, a planet he barely remembers, only to discover that other survivors of his species remain. These Furians are fighting to survive against a mysterious new threat. While the antagonist has not been revealed, the film promises to explore themes of identity, survival, and destiny, allowing Riddick to confront not only external enemies but also his own past and the heritage of his people. By focusing on his homeworld, the narrative departs from the typical isolation or interstellar warfare seen in previous films, offering a rare exploration of Riddick's roots and a deeper understanding of the Furyan race. Beyond official statements, a wide range of rumors and fan theories have emerged online, fueled by the scarcity of confirmed information. One recurring theory involves a villain named Amadak, who allegedly threatens Furya or has some connection to Riddick's past. Some fans speculate that multiple Furians may be introduced, potentially including clones or alternative versions of Riddick, which could allow the film to explore questions of identity, heritage, and destiny in unprecedented ways. Other theories suggest that the film could revisit unresolved plot elements from prior movies, such as the Underverse and Threshold, tying Riddick's personal journey to a larger cosmic framework. While intriguing, these ideas remain speculative, as no official source has confirmed them. The question of returning characters has also been a focal point of fan speculation. While Vin Diesel is confirmed to reprise his role, the potential return of characters like Vaco or other figures tied to the Necromonger Empire has generated excitement within the community. Fans have even proposed that Karl Urban could return, linking Riddick's past conflicts to the events on Furya. However, beyond Diesel, no supporting cast members have been officially announced, leaving the details of Furya's narrative world largely up to interpretation. In addition to rumors about the story, fan-made content has proliferated online. Numerous videos and trailers claim to represent the upcoming film, but most are fan creations using footage from prior films, other movies, or AI-generated content. The production team has only released limited official materials, such as storyboard art and early set images, which gives a glimpse of the visual tone and aesthetic of the movie but leaves the public speculating on many key elements. This scarcity of information has amplified fan theories, encouraging speculation about plot, characters, and visual style. The release date of Riddick, Furya remains uncertain. Early reports optimistically suggested a mid-2025 release, but the production schedule, combined with the lack of confirmed post-production milestones, indicates that the film is more likely to be released between 2027 and 2028 or possibly later. This uncertainty, combined with the long delays between previous films, has fueled both anticipation and speculation among fans. These delays are not unprecedented in the franchise. The 9-year gap between the chronicles of Riddick and Riddick set a precedent for prolonged development cycles, creating a pattern of expectation and speculation. Thematically, the film appears poised to balance the visceral action and survival elements the franchise is known for with a deeper exploration of Riddick's origins and the Furyan culture. By focusing on his homeworld, the story may provide insights into the history, traditions, and struggles of the Furyans, expanding the mythos in ways previously unexplored. The narrative is expected to retain the franchise's signature intensity and moral ambiguity, highlighting Riddick's resourcefulness, combat skills, and cunning while integrating questions of legacy, identity, and cosmic significance. Fan speculation has also suggested that Furya might explore Riddick's personal evolution beyond mere survival. Some theories propose that he may face ethical dilemmas concerning his people or the use of his power, while others suggest that he could confront adversaries who are as morally complex as himself. These interpretations are consistent with the franchise's historical approach to storytelling, where Riddick's survival often intertwines with larger philosophical and moral questions. Overall, Riddick, Furya stands as one of the most anticipated projects in the franchise, promising a blend of action, mythology, and personal discovery. The film combines confirmed facts, Diesel and Tuhis' involvement, a return to Furya, production across multiple European locations, with rich speculation regarding the plot, supporting characters, and antagonists. While much remains unknown, the combination of a beloved protagonist, a consistent creative team, and a narrative centered on heritage and survival has generated significant excitement and expectation within the fan community. In conclusion, Riddick, Furya is shaping up to be a defining chapter in the Riddick saga. It aims to balance the franchise's trademark action and suspense with an exploration of Riddick's roots and the broader lore of the Furyan race. Fans and casual viewers alike can anticipate a film that not only delivers thrilling set pieces and intense survival scenarios but also delves into questions of identity, legacy, and cosmic destiny. Until official trailers or release information emerge, the combination of confirmed details and fan speculation ensures that anticipation for the film will remain high, keeping the world of Riddick both enigmatic and compelling. Riddick, Furya represents the next chapter in one of the most enduring and intricately constructed science fiction action franchises of the 21st century. Since the introduction of Richard B. Riddick in 2000's Pitch Black, audiences have been drawn to the enigmatic figure of a man simultaneously monstrous and heroic, violent and protective, a survivalist whose morality exists in shades of gray. Riddick is not simply a character in a series of alien action adventures, he is an archetype of the anti-hero, a living study of human adaptability pushed to superhuman extremes. The first film established his defining characteristics, lethal intelligence, remarkable physical abilities, and a keen sense of survival under the most hostile conditions imaginable. Stranded on a desolate planet with an unsuspecting group of survivors, Riddick immediately distinguished himself by his cunning and pragmatic ruthlessness, navigating both alien threats and human fear. His night vision eyes, a unique genetic enhancement, became an iconic symbol of the character, encapsulating the duality of his existence as both predator and protector. It was here, in the stark, claustrophobic landscapes of the first film, that Riddick's legend was born, a man out of place, yet perfectly adapted to chaos. With the release of the Chronicles of Riddick in 2004, the narrative scope broadened considerably, moving from the microcosm of a single hostile planet to a sprawling interstellar canvas. The film introduced the oppressive Necromonger Empire, a militaristic and religious order that sought dominion over the universe, and placed Riddick in the context of prophecy and destiny. Here, the narrative began to explore questions that would resonate through all subsequent entries: the nature of power, the price of survival, and the burden of exceptional ability. Riddick's journey in this installment was not merely a physical struggle but a confrontation with his own identity within the vast machinery of cosmic forces. The film, although polarizing among critics, expanded the universe, revealing layers of political intrigue, ancient civilizations, and mythic resonance. It also introduced the idea that Riddick's existence is part of a larger narrative, one that connects his personal survival to the fate of entire civilizations. In 2013, Riddick returned to the survivalist roots of the franchise, emphasizing raw, visceral action while incorporating the mythos established in the previous films. Riddick finds himself stranded on a hostile, sun-scorched planet teeming with predators, and the narrative revolves around his tactical brilliance and physical prowess. Unlike the first two films, this installment deliberately stripped back the larger intergalactic context to focus on Riddick as an isolated force of nature, a man whose abilities allow him to dominate environments that would annihilate ordinary humans. The return to these fundamentals reinforced the core appeal of the franchise, a meditation on the limits of human capability, the instinctual drive to survive, and the compelling tension between morality and expedience. It also set the stage for a more personal exploration of Riddick's origins, a thread that Riddick, Furya is poised to fully develop. Riddick, Furya, as announced, will take the audience deeper into Riddick's past than ever before, returning to his mysterious homeworld, Furya. This planet, largely unexplored in earlier films, represents both a literal and metaphorical homecoming for the character. It is expected to explore not only the environmental challenges of this world but also the socio-cultural and historical aspects of Riddick's people, the Furyans. While the details of the plot remain largely under wraps, early reports suggest that Riddick will discover other surviving Furyans, engaged in their own struggle for existence against a formidable new adversary. This narrative promise hints at a blend of survival action, interstellar intrigue, and deeper character exploration, providing a lens through which the audience can understand Riddick not only as a warrior but as a product of a culture, a survivor of an almost lost lineage. Thematically, this film may confront questions of identity, belonging, and legacy, all set against the backdrop of a hostile and visually arresting alien world. Vin Diesel's return as Riddick is central to the continuity and authenticity of the franchise. Beyond his role as the protagonist, Diesel serves as a producer, ensuring that the vision of the character and the universe remains consistent. The film is directed and written by David Twohy, the creator of the series, whose intimate understanding of Riddick's narrative arc guarantees cohesion and continuity. Other producers include Samantha Vincent, Torsten Schumacher, Lars Sylvestre, and Joe Neurotter, and the production companies involved include One Race Films, Rocket Science, and Thank You Studios, with distribution by Universal Pictures. These production details reflect a commitment to preserving the franchise's established tone, aesthetic, and narrative style, while expanding the scope and ambition of the story to meet modern cinematic expectations. The homeworld of Furya, as described in early synopses, serves as more than a backdrop, it is a narrative character in itself. By returning Riddick to the place of his origin, the film allows for an exploration of the evolutionary, environmental, and cultural factors that have shaped him. The Furyans, Riddick's people, have been hinted to possess exceptional physical and cognitive abilities, potentially linked to their unique genetics. The culture of the Furyans, while largely speculative at this stage, is expected to provide insight into Riddick's behaviors, his combat style, his moral flexibility, and his instinctual survival strategies. This return to origins promises to enrich the audience's understanding of the protagonist, providing context to his previous actions while offering a lens through which his ongoing struggle for survival can be interpreted. Filming for Riddick, Furya commenced in August 2024, across diverse locations in Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. These varied locales offer the visual flexibility to represent multiple alien environments, from harsh deserts to lush, untamed wilderness, to the remnants of urbanized civilizations. The production is expected to utilize cutting-edge visual effects, practical creature design, and dynamic combat choreography, maintaining the franchise's tradition of blending realism with imaginative world-building. The combination of practical and digital effects is likely to create immersive alien landscapes and intense action sequences, ensuring that the film meets the expectations of both longtime fans and new audiences. The narrative possibilities for Riddick, Furya are extensive. While exact plot details remain undisclosed, one can anticipate a journey that not only involves survival against hostile forces but also an introspective examination of Riddick's place within the lineage of Furyans. The themes of identity, heritage, and leadership are likely to play significant roles. Riddick may encounter moral dilemmas, forcing him to navigate complex social and political structures within his own people, while simultaneously confronting external threats. This duality, internal versus external conflict, has been a hallmark of the series, and Furya appears poised to continue this tradition, offering both high-stakes action and narrative depth. Although no other cast members have been officially confirmed beyond Vin Diesel, speculation abounds regarding potential new characters. These may include fellow Furyans, allies who challenge or complement Riddick's worldview, and antagonists who embody the external threats to Furya. Returning villains or references to previous conflicts are also possible, providing continuity while expanding the narrative universe. The integration of these characters will likely serve both plot-driven and thematic purposes, illuminating aspects of Riddick's identity, his relationships, and the broader cosmic struggle within which he exists. The release date for Riddick, Furya remains unannounced, with estimates suggesting a potential window between 2027 and 2028. Marketing and promotional campaigns are expected to follow, with initial teasers, trailers, and visual content gradually revealing the film's tone, aesthetic, and narrative direction. Anticipation is high among fans, many of whom have awaited a return to Riddick's origins for over a decade. The sustained interest in the franchise underscores its enduring appeal, rooted in the compelling combination of complex character work, immersive world-building, and high-octane science fiction action. Riddick, Furya is the highly anticipated fourth installment in the Chronicles of Riddick film series, following Pitch Black, 2000, The Chronicles of Riddick, 2004, and Riddick, 2013. The movie is written and directed by David Twohy, who has been responsible for all previous Riddick films, ensuring consistency in tone, style, and storytelling. Vin Diesel returns to portray the iconic anti-hero Richard B. Riddick, a dangerous and cunning survivor known for navigating hostile alien worlds and confronting deadly forces. The film is produced under Diesel's production banner, One Race Films, with additional producers including Samantha Vincent, Torsten Schumacher, Lars Sylvestre, and Joe Neurotter, while distribution is handled by Universal Pictures. Cinematography is reportedly being managed by Stefan Supek, promising visuals that maintain the franchise's signature dark, gritty, and atmospheric aesthetic. The story of Riddick, Furya focuses on Riddick returning to his home planet, Furya, a world he barely remembers and fears may have been destroyed by previous conflicts, including the notorious Necromonger Empire. Upon his return, he discovers that not all Furyans have perished. Some survivors are more like him than he could have imagined, and they are struggling against a new and unknown enemy. This premise sets the stage for the movie to explore Riddick's origins, the history of the Furyan race, and the larger mythology of the Riddick universe. While the specific plot details remain secret, the film promises a blend of intense action, survival challenges, and the deep lore that longtime fans have eagerly awaited. The return of David Twohy as director and Vin Diesel as the lead actor ensures that the film will remain true to the spirit of the previous entries while allowing for expansion into new narrative territory. Previous films left many questions about Riddick's past and the Furyan race unresolved, and Furya is expected to address these gaps. Vin Diesel's personal investment in the franchise, through his production company, underscores the commitment to both continuity and quality, making it clear that the film is being treated as a major creative endeavor. For longtime fans, the project represents both a continuation of Riddick's journey and an exploration of the character's deeper origins, while providing a potential entry point for new viewers. Production officially began on August 26, 2024, with principal photography taking place in multiple European locations, including Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. The film has been developed over several years, with scripting completed in 2021 and official announcements made in February 2023. While Vin Diesel is currently the only confirmed cast member, additional characters, including surviving Furyans and new antagonists, are expected to be revealed as production progresses. Behind-the-scenes reports indicate elaborate set designs, futuristic vehicles, and a combination of practical and digital effects, suggesting that the film will deliver a visually immersive experience consistent with the franchise's standards. Visual content released so far, including concept art and promotional images, highlights Riddick's combat skills, agility, and the supernatural aspects of his Furyan heritage. Some images depict glowing energy effects that emphasize his unique abilities, while others showcase the alien landscapes of Furya, hinting at a planet with a mix of desolate and mysterious environments. Behind-the-scenes photos show Vin Diesel in full costume, complete with signature goggles, interacting with vehicles and set pieces, giving fans a sense of the film's scale and ambition. These visuals, while possibly subject to change, provide a compelling preview of the world the film intends to build. As of now, there is no confirmed release date for Riddick, Furya, and no official trailer has been released. Media speculation places the potential release window between 2025 and 2028. The supporting cast has not yet been publicly confirmed, and many narrative and production details remain under wraps. Despite these uncertainties, anticipation for the film is high, driven by the involvement of the original creative team, the compelling premise, and the high-quality concept art and behind-the-scenes content that has been shared with fans. The significance of Riddick, Furya lies not only in its action sequences and science fiction aesthetics but also in its potential to resolve long-standing questions about Riddick's past and the Furyan race. The filmmakers aim to combine thrilling action with meaningful exploration of character and culture, potentially elevating the franchise to new narrative heights. Fans expect a balance between intense combat, survival scenarios, and deeper storytelling, particularly in Riddick's interactions with other Furyans and his confrontation with new threats. If executed successfully, the film could also pave the way for future installments or spin-offs within the Riddick universe. Overall, Riddick, Furya promises to be a pivotal chapter in the franchise, offering both continuation and expansion of the series' mythology. Production is well underway, visuals hint at an immersive and richly detailed world, and the storyline promises to explore unanswered questions about the protagonist and his race. While key details such as the release date, full cast, and final plot remain unknown, the involvement of Diesel, Tuhi, and the established creative team provides confidence that the film will deliver an exciting and visually engaging experience. Fans and newcomers alike can anticipate a thrilling adventure that honors the legacy of the Riddick franchise while exploring new territory in its universe. Riddick has always fascinated audiences because he exists in the liminal space between hero and predator. He is neither entirely good nor entirely evil, yet his actions often serve a moral framework grounded in survival, loyalty, and pragmatism. Unlike traditional heroes, Riddick does not operate on idealism or adherence to societal norms. His guiding principles are the instincts of a survivor honed over years of navigating hostile environments, both alien and human. This moral ambiguity is a defining feature of the character and is central to the Riddick franchise. It allows the narrative to explore questions about the nature of morality in extreme circumstances, the adaptability of humans under duress, and the balance between self-preservation and ethical responsibility. In each installment, Riddick confronts situations that force him to weigh immediate survival against long-term consequences, a dynamic that continues to make him compelling as a protagonist. The anti-hero aspect of Riddick is amplified by his exceptional abilities. His night vision eyes, a mutation that allows him to see in complete darkness, symbolize both his advantage and his otherness. They mark him as different, setting him apart from ordinary humans while simultaneously giving him the tools necessary to navigate deadly environments. His physical prowess, tactical intelligence, and acute senses make him almost a force of nature, yet it is his human instincts, his cunning, his occasional empathy, his personal code, that ground him. Riddick's character embodies the tension between the extraordinary and the relatable. He is a mythic figure, yet his motivations and decisions resonate on a human level. This complexity has allowed the franchise to sustain interest across decades, providing audiences not just with action sequences but with a character study of survival, identity, and resilience. Riddick, Furya offers the unique opportunity to explore how Riddick's identity has been shaped by his origins. Unlike previous films, which focus largely on external threats and survival scenarios, Furya promises to delve into the formative aspects of Riddick's psyche. His homeworld, largely unknown in prior installments, is likely to serve as a mirror to his own internal conflicts. As a Furyan, Riddick is part of a genetically enhanced race, yet his early life on Furya, his relationship with his people, and the events that led him to become a solitary wanderer remain largely unexplored. This narrative focus opens the possibility of exploring themes such as exile, cultural memory, inherited trauma, and the ways in which environment shapes both physical and psychological traits. By confronting Riddick with the remnants of his people and the history of Furya, the film can examine the convergence of personal and collective identity in a character whose life has been defined by isolation and conflict. Furyan culture, as suggested by the limited references in previous films and fan speculation, appears to be defined by resilience, martial prowess, and a capacity for strategic thought. While the specifics remain largely undisclosed, the Furyans' genetic enhancements likely contribute to both their combat abilities and their adaptability to extreme environments. In Riddick, Furya, it is plausible that these cultural and genetic traits will play a central role in the narrative. The surviving Furyans may possess abilities and tactical acumen similar to Riddick, creating opportunities for both alliance and conflict. The presence of other Furyans introduces a social dimension to Riddick's story, forcing him to navigate relationships, leadership dynamics, and shared heritage, all while confronting external threats. This exploration of Furyan society can deepen the audience's understanding of Riddick's own behavior, highlighting the interplay between innate ability, cultural conditioning, and personal experience. The narrative potential of Furya as a setting is immense. Unlike previous films, where alien worlds often function primarily as arenas for survival, Furya is expected to carry both symbolic and literal weight. It is a place of origin, memory, and loss, a landscape that embodies the history of Riddick's people. Early reports suggest that the planet may be in ruins or under threat, introducing a high-stakes conflict that intertwines the survival of individuals with the survival of an entire culture. This dual narrative of personal and collective survival is likely to drive much of the plot, creating opportunities for dramatic tension, moral dilemmas, and explorations of identity. By situating Riddick at the intersection of personal history and broader cultural stakes, Furya can elevate the narrative beyond standard action fare, blending epic scope with intimate character study. Speculation about the plot of Riddick, Furya suggests that the film may introduce a formidable new enemy, one that threatens the survival of the Furyans. While the nature of this adversary is unconfirmed, fan theories have proposed a range of possibilities, including monstrous alien predators, remnants of the Necromonger Empire, or entirely new interstellar threats. These enemies are likely to serve as both physical and symbolic challenges, testing Riddick's abilities, strategic thinking, and moral judgment. The presence of other Furyans introduces additional narrative complexity, as Riddick may be forced to negotiate alliances, confront rivalries, and navigate social hierarchies, all while engaging with the external threat. This multifaceted approach to conflict aligns with the franchise's tradition of blending visceral action with psychological and thematic depth. In addition to new enemies, Riddick, Furya may feature returning characters or references to events from previous films. The Necromongers, though largely absent in Riddick, 2013, remain a potential narrative touchstone, providing continuity and reinforcing the stakes of interstellar politics. Similarly, elements of the Riddick mythology, such as prophetic visions, the significance of his genetic lineage, and the role of Furyans in cosmic events, may be further developed. This approach allows the film to honor the franchise's established canon while expanding the narrative in new directions. By integrating past and present, Riddick, Furya has the potential to serve as both a continuation and a deepening of the series' overarching themes. The psychological dimension of Riddick's character is also likely to be explored more fully in Furya. Isolation, trauma, and the burden of exceptional ability have shaped him into a solitary figure, yet the presence of other Furyans and the confrontation with his homeworld may challenge his long-standing patterns of behavior. Themes of trust, leadership, and the reconciliation of personal desire with collective responsibility are likely to be central. Riddick may be forced to confront questions about his own identity, the meaning of his survival, and his obligations to others. This introspective dimension, combined with the external conflict, promises a layered narrative that appeals to both fans of action and audiences interested in character-driven storytelling. The Riddick saga has always been a unique blend of science fiction, horror, and action, with Riddick emerging as one of cinema's most compelling antiheroes. Since his introduction in Pitch Black, 2000, Riddick has captivated audiences with his exceptional survival skills, moral ambiguity, and raw physicality. The franchise has since expanded into larger-scale stories, including The Chronicles of Riddick, 2004, which introduced interstellar empires, the Necromongers, and the concept of the Underverse, and Riddick, 2013, which returned to the franchise's survivalist roots, highlighting his primal instincts and adaptability. Now, after over a decade since the last installment, the franchise is set to return with Riddick, Furya, often referred to as Riddick 4 by fans, promising to explore the origins and heritage of its iconic protagonist while expanding the lore of the Furyan race. Officially, Riddick, Furya is written and directed by David Twohy, who has consistently guided the narrative and visual tone of the franchise. Vin Diesel reprises the title role, bringing back his signature combination of cunning, combat expertise, and antihero charisma. The production is managed under banners such as One Race Films, Rocket Science, and Thank You Studios. Filming is scheduled across Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom, suggesting a dedication to visually striking sets that can convincingly depict Riddick's homeworld and the diverse environments in which the Furyans survive. Early set images and storyboard art have revealed glimpses of the visual style, dark, rugged landscapes, atmospheric lighting, and the blend of alien beauty with hostile terrain that the franchise is known for. The premise of Riddick, Furya has been officially described in limited detail. Riddick returns to Furya, a planet that is integral to his identity but one that he barely remembers, to discover that other Furyans are still alive, struggling against a new, unidentified threat. The film is expected to explore themes of identity, legacy, and survival, moving beyond the immediate threats that have defined Riddick's earlier adventures. This homeworld-centric story is a departure from the previous film's focus on isolated survival scenarios or interstellar political conflicts, emphasizing Riddick's connection to his race and the potential for uncovering secrets of Furyan culture and history. While official details remain scarce, the fan community has generated extensive speculation and theories regarding the film's potential plot and characters. One prominent theory involves a new villain, possibly named Amadak, who may pose a direct threat to Furya and its inhabitants. Some fans speculate that the film could introduce multiple Furyans, perhaps even alternative versions of Riddick, including clones or descendants. These ideas, while unconfirmed, align with the franchise's themes of identity and legacy, providing an opportunity to explore the complexities of Riddick's heritage. Additionally, unresolved plot threads from previous films, such as the Underverse and the Threshold, are frequently cited in fan theories, suggesting a potential connection between Riddick's personal journey and a broader cosmic storyline. The question of returning characters has also fueled fan discussions. Vin Diesel's involvement is confirmed, but speculation abounds regarding potential appearances by characters such as Vako or other members of the Necromonger Empire. Some fans hope for Karl Urban's return, which could establish narrative continuity and provide a richer exploration of past conflicts. However, no official announcements have confirmed any supporting cast beyond Diesel, leaving many narrative possibilities open to interpretation. Fan-made content has further contributed to the public's perception of Furya. Numerous trailers and promotional images circulating online are largely unverified and often created by enthusiasts using footage from previous films, unrelated media, or AI-generated visuals. While some early storyboard art and set images have been officially released, the scarcity of confirmed content has amplified speculation and fueled anticipation within the community. These fan-created materials, although not official, offer insight into the expectations and hopes of the franchise's dedicated audience. The release date for Riddick, Furya remains uncertain. Early projections suggested a mid-2025 release, however, production timelines, combined with Diesel's commitments to other projects, indicate that a more realistic window may be 2027 to 2028 or later. Historically, the franchise has experienced long gaps between films, 9 years between the chronicles of Riddick and Riddick, creating an environment where speculation and fan theory thrive. These delays have contributed to heightened anticipation and ongoing discussions about potential plotlines, characters, and thematic directions. Thematically, the film is expected to retain the franchise's signature intensity, blending visceral action, survivalist tension, and moral ambiguity with an exploration of identity and heritage. By revisiting Furya, the narrative offers the potential to expand the cultural and historical context of the Furyans, shedding light on their society, traditions, and struggles. Riddick's journey may involve moral dilemmas, leadership decisions, and confrontations with both internal and external adversaries, reinforcing the character's complex nature as a survivor, anti-hero, and potential savior of his people. Fan speculation has also explored the possibility that Furya will provide narrative closure to unresolved arcs from previous films. The Underverse, a cosmic dimension introduced in the Chronicles of Riddick, remains largely unexplored on screen, and fans theorize that the film may tie Riddick's heritage to this larger cosmic framework. Additionally, the idea that Riddick could face challenges from other Furyans, potentially clones or rival survivors, offers narrative possibilities that would allow the franchise to explore themes of identity, legacy, and destiny in new and compelling ways. Visually, the film is anticipated to combine the dark, atmospheric aesthetic familiar to fans with new environments unique to Furya. Early promotional materials and storyboard images suggest rugged, alien landscapes punctuated by harsh lighting and dramatic action sequences. The combination of practical effects and digital artistry is expected to maintain the franchise's established tone while expanding the visual language of the Riddick universe, offering audiences both the immediacy of survival horror and the grandeur of interstellar epic. In addition to these creative and narrative expectations, the film's production history provides context for its development. Since the release of Riddick in 2013, the fourth film has undergone numerous script revisions, pre-production discussions, and development delays. The official announcement in 2023 confirmed Toohey and Diesel's involvement, signaling a commitment to maintaining continuity in tone and storytelling. Filming in 2024 across Europe reflects both logistical considerations and the desire to create immersive environments for Riddick's journey. Ultimately, Riddick, Furya represents a convergence of confirmed production details, franchise legacy, and fan-driven speculation. The film has the potential to blend high-intensity action, psychological complexity, and rich mythological storytelling, deepening the audience's understanding of Riddick, the Furyans, and the wider universe. The balance between official information and community-driven theories highlights the continued engagement and passion of the franchise's fanbase, ensuring that anticipation for the film remains high. In conclusion, Riddick, Furya stands poised to become a defining chapter in the Riddick saga. By revisiting the protagonist's origins, exploring the Furyan homeworld, and potentially resolving long-standing narrative threads, the film promises both spectacle and substance. While much remains unconfirmed, from supporting cast to exact plot details, the combination of Diesel and Toohey's creative leadership, compelling visual direction, and a rich, fan-engaged mythology creates the potential for a film that is both faithful to the franchise's roots and innovative in its narrative scope. Until official trailers, casting announcements, and release dates are confirmed, the mixture of verified information and fan speculation ensures that Riddick, Furya continues to captivate and intrigue audiences around the world, keeping the legacy of Riddick alive and evolving. Riddick, Furya is expected to present a narrative that combines high-stakes action with intricate world-building, and while many plot details remain unconfirmed, careful analysis of previous films, statements from the creators, and fan speculation allow us to construct a plausible trajectory for the story. At the heart of the plot is Riddick's return to his homeworld, Furya, a planet whose physical and cultural landscape has remained largely shrouded in mystery. The early synopsis suggests that Riddick will find the planet either partially destroyed or under some new threat, providing both a literal and metaphorical stage for the confrontation between past and present. The story likely begins with Riddick traveling across space, perhaps following a signal, a memory, or rumors of surviving Furyans, driven by the dual impulse of curiosity and obligation. This journey alone allows for an expansion of the Riddick universe, potentially showcasing previously unseen planets, spacecraft, and alien ecologies, all while setting the tone for the homecoming narrative. Upon arrival on Furya, Riddick may encounter other Furyans who survived whatever catastrophe befell their civilization. These characters could serve multiple narrative purposes: allies who mirror Riddick's abilities and philosophy, rivals who challenge his authority or perspective, and civilians whose survival depends on Riddick's intervention. The presence of these individuals introduces a complex social dynamic, forcing Riddick to navigate trust, leadership, and collaboration, concepts that have been peripheral in previous films but are likely to take center stage in Furya. It is conceivable that some of these Furyans have developed new abilities or strategies to survive the harsh environment of their homeworld, creating opportunities for both alliance and conflict. Such interactions allow the narrative to explore themes of kinship, cultural heritage, and the negotiation of power within a small but resilient society. The nature of the external threat on Furya is a major point of speculation. Given the franchise's history, it is likely that Riddick will confront a combination of environmental hazards and antagonistic forces. These could include genetically engineered or evolved predators, echoing the monstrous creatures of Pitch Black, or remnants of interstellar empires that seek to dominate or exploit Furya, recalling the necromongers from the Chronicles of Riddick. There is also room for entirely new threats, perhaps alien factions, rogue factions of Furyans, or other cosmic entities that tie into the mythology of the universe. These adversaries are expected to test not only Riddick's combat skills but also his strategic thinking and moral flexibility, reinforcing the series' tradition of integrating physical conflict with psychological and ethical challenges. Riddick's combat abilities are central to the film's narrative structure. His extraordinary physical strength, agility, and reflexes allow him to dominate both human and alien opponents, while his tactical intelligence enables him to manipulate environments, set traps, and exploit weaknesses in seemingly insurmountable threats. His night vision eyes, long a signature trait, provide a distinct advantage in darkness but also symbolize his unique perception of the world, one attuned to survival, danger, and opportunity. In Furya, these abilities may be tested in new and extreme ways, including environments with unfamiliar terrain, higher concentrations of natural hazards, or adversaries with comparable skills. The narrative may explore the limits of Riddick's abilities, forcing him to adapt in innovative ways and rely not only on raw power but also on cunning, intuition, and alliances. The speculative plot may also explore Riddick's moral and psychological dimensions in greater depth. His return to Furya could bring unresolved emotional tensions to the surface, including guilt over the fate of his people, the responsibility of leadership, and the search for belonging. These internal conflicts may intersect with external threats, creating layered tension that combines action sequences with character-driven drama. Riddick has always operated on a personal code, and Furya is likely to challenge him to reconcile that code with the expectations and needs of a larger community. Such a narrative arc allows the audience to engage with Riddick on a more intimate level, understanding the human, or post-human, elements that underpin his survivalist exterior. The potential cast of characters is another area ripe for exploration. While Vin Diesel is confirmed as Riddick, other returning or new characters could include survivors of Furya, allies from other parts of the galaxy, or adversaries with complex motivations. Speculation suggests that some characters may serve as mirrors or foils to Riddick, highlighting alternative approaches to survival, morality, or leadership. Villains may be drawn from previous conflicts or entirely new entities, creating opportunities for epic confrontations that test both skill and strategy. The interaction between Riddick and these characters is likely to drive much of the narrative tension, providing both personal stakes and broader cultural implications for the Furyan people. Connections to previous films are likely to enrich the narrative. While Furya focuses on Riddick's origins, references to events in Pitch Black, the Chronicles of Riddick, and Riddick may provide continuity and reward long-term fans. These could include allusions to past adversaries, unresolved plot threads, or echoes of cosmic forces introduced earlier. For example, the Necromongers, although largely absent in the 2013 installment, may have lingering influence or allies that intersect with Furya's storyline. Similarly, prophetic elements tied to Riddick's destiny could resurface, linking his personal journey to the broader mythology of the universe. Such connections reinforce the coherence of the franchise while expanding its thematic and narrative complexity. Fan theories have contributed significantly to speculation about Furya. Some propose that Riddick may discover other genetically enhanced Furyans who rival his abilities, creating potential conflicts and alliances. Others speculate that the planet itself could harbor unique resources, technologies, or environmental hazards that drive the plot. There is also speculation about the possibility of interstellar politics coming into play, with factions beyond Furya taking an interest in the planet and its survivors. These theories, while unconfirmed, demonstrate the richness of the franchise's world-building and the extent to which audiences are invested in imagining plausible extensions of the narrative universe. Visual storytelling is expected to play a major role in Furya. Filming locations in Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom suggest a variety of landscapes, from barren deserts to rugged highlands, which may be digitally enhanced to create the alien environments of Riddick's homeworld. The franchise has historically balanced practical effects with CGI, ensuring that creatures, spacecraft, and alien architecture feel tangible and immersive. In Furya, one can anticipate elaborate set pieces, intense combat sequences, and atmospheric depictions of alien environments that reinforce the narrative stakes and the visual identity of the series. The anticipated structure of the film may include a progression from discovery to confrontation to resolution. Riddick's arrival on Furya likely initiates an exploration of the planet, encounters with other Furyans, and reconnaissance of environmental and external threats. The midsection of the story could involve escalating conflicts, both interpersonal and external, testing Riddick's abilities and leadership. The climax is expected to feature high-stakes battles, the resolution of personal and cultural tensions, and potentially a revelation about Riddick's destiny or the future of the Furyans. The denouement may address lingering questions about identity, survival, and legacy, setting the stage for future expansions of the franchise. Riddick, Furya arrives nearly a quarter-century after the debut of the franchise with Pitch Black. That first film, released in 2000, introduced audiences to the anti-hero Richard B. Riddick, a dangerous, cunning survivor whose surgically altered eyes made him a reluctant savior when a spaceship crash-landed on a deserted, monster-infested planet. The modest-budget film earned a reputation for its dark, tense atmosphere and the primal horror of survival on a hostile planet. Its worldwide gross convinced the studio that there was interest in more Riddick stories. Encouraged by that success, the franchise expanded with the Chronicles of Riddick in 2004. Under the direction of David Twohy, the sequel traded some of the claustrophobic horror of the first film for a more sprawling space opera scope, new planets, sweeping empire-scale conflicts, and the revelation that Riddick is potentially the last of a near-wiped-out warrior race known as the Furyans. The film's budget rose accordingly, and though it grossed a decent amount, it was widely seen as a commercial disappointment given its cost and mixed reception. Nearly a decade later, the franchise returned with Riddick in 2013. This film shifted back toward the survival instincts of Pitch Black. Riddick finds himself stranded on a remote planet, facing alien predators, survival challenges, and moral ambiguity rather than grand spacefaring epics. The leaner budget and tighter focus helped the film regain some of its original tone and fan goodwill. Despite the passage of time and shifts in tone, a core thread has always lingered: Riddick's mysterious origins. By the end of Riddick, audiences still knew little about what happened to his home planet, Furya, or whether any Furians survived. Many fans wanted closure or at least deeper exploration of that mythology. That desire, plus the enduring cult appeal of the character, laid the groundwork for the long-gestating fourth movie. As early as 2014, after strong DVD and home video performance for Riddick, the studio expressed interest in a sequel. By 2016, Diesel and Toohey confirmed they were developing a fourth film initially titled Furya, and they envisioned it as a return to Riddick's roots, darker, more visceral, and rated for mature audiences. Over the next years the project slowly evolved. The script was reportedly completed by 2019, with the official title changed to Riddick, Furya. By 2021 and 2022, Diesel was teasing storyboards and concept art on social media as pre-production advanced. In February 2023, the film was officially announced, linking it firmly as a sequel to the earlier three films. Finally, as reported in May 2024, principal photography was scheduled to begin on August 26, 2024, with filming planned in Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. Toohey remains in place as writer-director, and Diesel returns as Riddick, produced under his banner One Race Films along with several collaborators. Thus, Furya is positioned as a culmination, an origin story, and potentially a definitive chapter exploring Riddick's roots. According to the official synopsis, the film will take Riddick back to his homeworld, where he barely remembers his past. He fears that necromongers might have obliterated Furya entirely. But when he arrives, he finds that other Furians have survived, and they are fighting for their existence against a new enemy. Some of these surviving Furians, the synopsis hints, are more like him than anyone could have anticipated. This premise suggests that Furya may attempt to resolve long-standing questions. What really happened to Furya? Why was Riddick spared? Are there more Furians and, if so, what kind of society remains? Can Riddick reconnect with his roots, or will he face a grim reality of loss, survival, and reinvention? Given the franchise's evolution, from grim horror to epic space opera to gritty survival, Furya offers a chance to combine the strengths of its predecessors, the dread and darkness of Pitch Black, the mythology and scale of Chronicles, and the gritty realism of Riddick. On the production side, several factors make Furya distinctive. After years of uncertainty, the original creative trio, Diesel, Toohey, and the production house, is reunited. That continuity matters because Toohey has directed all previous films, and Diesel has been the face of Riddick since the beginning. Their investment suggests care, not just cash grab franchise churn. Filming in multiple European locations potentially points to varied environments, maybe alien landscapes, desert worlds, or decaying industrial planets, giving the film a chance to visually expand the world more than before. However, many details remain uncertain. As of now, the only confirmed cast member is Riddick himself. No supporting cast has been officially revealed. Because the story hinges on returning Furians and a new enemy, who these characters are, their identities, motivations, and how they connect to Riddick, remains a mystery. Additionally, there is no confirmed release date. Some early reports optimistically mention 2025, but with no trailer or promotional campaign yet, that remains speculative. Given how the Riddick franchise has shifted over time, from horror to epic space opera to gritty survival, there is also a risk. The film could struggle to balance heavy mythology, alien world building, and tight pacing. Fans may hope for deep lore and satisfying answers, but that carries expectation and pressure. There is also the question of tone. Will Furya lean more toward action horror, or toward grand sci-fi fantasy? Beyond what is officially known, there is considerable fan speculation about possible directions. Some believe the film could explore not just surviving Furians, but perhaps a fractured Furyan society, maybe clans or survivors scattered, with internal conflict or identity crises. Others suggest that the new enemy might not be external, but internal, survivors who blame Riddick, or traitors among Furians. There are also hopes that the film might revisit threads from previous movies, possibly even leading to a philosophical reckoning with his identity, rather than just an action spectacle. Another area of speculation is tone and rating. Early in development, it was confirmed the movie would be rated for mature audiences, which gives the freedom for violence, moral ambiguity, and deeper psychological elements. Given the dark, gritty roots of the first film and the morally ambiguous nature of Riddick himself, this could mark a return to the series' original spirit, but built with modern production values and narrative ambition. In terms of franchise significance, Furya could be more than just a sequel, it might be the foundational homecoming. By exploring Riddick's origins and giving flesh to Furya and the Furyan race, the film has the potential to expand the series' lore dramatically. This could lead to further sequels, spin-offs, or even reboots focused on Furyan survivors, their culture, or the consequences of their return to cosmic stage politics. In that sense, Furya could revitalize interest in a franchise that has ebbed and flowed over 2 decades. Yet, the long development path and limited public detail also raise caution. Sometimes projects that gestate so long end up compromised, whether by budget constraints, shifting creative vision, or studio interference. The absence of a large, publicized cast or promotional campaign as of mid-2025 leaves open the possibility that Furya might end up more modest than fans expect. In conclusion, Riddick, Furya stands at an interesting inflection point. With a legacy spanning 3 films over 23 years, a passionate fanbase, and a core creative team reassembling to bring Riddick back home, the film has real potential to deliver a satisfying exploration of identity, survival, and legacy. At the same time, the many unknowns, story details, supporting cast, release timing, mean that much of what is anticipated remains speculative. If the film can balance spectacle with character, and mythology with story, it may become not just another sequel, but a defining chapter in the Riddick saga. The Riddick saga has always been a unique blend of science fiction, horror, and action, with Richard B. Riddick emerging as one of cinema's most compelling antiheroes. Since his introduction in Pitch Black, 2000, Riddick has captivated audiences with his exceptional survival skills, moral ambiguity, and raw physicality. The franchise has since expanded into larger-scale stories, including The Chronicles of Riddick, 2004, which introduced interstellar empires, the Necromongers, and the concept of the Underverse, and Riddick, 2013, which returned to the franchise's survivalist roots, highlighting his primal instincts and adaptability. Now, after over a decade since the last installment, the franchise is set to return with Riddick, Furya, often referred to as Riddick 4 by fans, promising to explore the origins and heritage of its iconic protagonist while expanding the lore of the Furyan race. Officially, Riddick, Furya is written and directed by David Twohy, who has consistently guided the narrative and visual tone of the franchise. Vin Diesel reprises the title role, bringing back his signature combination of cunning, combat expertise, and anti-hero charisma. The production is managed under banners such as One Race Films, Rocket Science, and Thank You Studios. Filming is scheduled across Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom, suggesting a dedication to visually striking sets that can convincingly depict Riddick's homeworld and the diverse environments in which the Furyans survive. Early set images and storyboard art have revealed glimpses of the visual style, dark, rugged landscapes, atmospheric lighting, and the blend of alien beauty with hostile terrain that the franchise is known for. The premise of Riddick, Furya has been officially described in limited detail. Riddick returns to Furya, a planet that is integral to his identity but one that he barely remembers, to discover that other Furyans are still alive, struggling against a new, unidentified threat. The film is expected to explore themes of identity, legacy, and survival, moving beyond the immediate threats that have defined Riddick's earlier adventures. This homeworld-centric story is a departure from the previous film's focus on isolated survival scenarios or interstellar political conflicts, emphasizing Riddick's connection to his race and the potential for uncovering secrets of Furyan culture and history. While official details remain scarce, the fan community has generated extensive speculation and theories regarding the film's potential plot and characters. One prominent theory involves a new villain, possibly named Amadak, who may pose a direct threat to Furya and its inhabitants. Some fans speculate that the film could introduce multiple Furyans, perhaps even alternative versions of Riddick, including clones or descendants. These ideas, while unconfirmed, align with the franchise's themes of identity and legacy, providing an opportunity to explore the complexities of Riddick's heritage. Additionally, unresolved plot threads from previous films, such as the Underverse and Threshold, are frequently cited in fan theories, suggesting a potential connection between Riddick's personal journey and a broader cosmic storyline. The question of returning characters has also fueled fan discussions. Vin Diesel's involvement is confirmed, but speculation abounds regarding potential appearances by characters such as Vaco or other members of the Necromonger Empire. Some fans hope for Karl Urban's return, which could establish narrative continuity and provide a richer exploration of past conflicts. However, beyond Diesel, no supporting cast members have been officially announced, leaving many narrative possibilities open to interpretation. Fan-made content has further contributed to the public's perception of Furya. Numerous trailers and promotional images circulating online are largely unverified and often created by enthusiasts using footage from previous films, unrelated media, or AI-generated visuals. While some early storyboard art and set images have been officially released, the scarcity of confirmed content has amplified speculation and fueled anticipation within the community. These fan-created materials, although not official, offer insight into the expectations and hopes of the franchise's dedicated audience. The release date for Riddick, Furya remains uncertain. Early projections suggested a mid-2025 release, however, production timelines, combined with Diesel's commitments to other projects, indicate that a more realistic window may be 2027 to 2028 or later. Historically, the franchise has experienced long gaps between films, 9 years between the chronicles of Riddick and Riddick, creating an environment where speculation and fan theory thrive. These delays have contributed to heightened anticipation and ongoing discussions about potential plotlines, characters, and thematic directions. Thematically, the film is expected to retain the franchise's signature intensity, blending visceral action, survivalist tension, and moral ambiguity with an exploration of identity and heritage. By revisiting Furya, the narrative offers the potential to expand the cultural and historical context of the Furians, shedding light on their society, traditions, and struggles. Riddick's journey may involve moral dilemmas, leadership decisions, and confrontations with both internal and external adversaries, reinforcing the character's complex nature as a survivor, anti-hero, and potential savior of his people. Fan speculation has also explored the possibility that Furya will provide narrative closure to unresolved arcs from previous films. The Underverse, a cosmic dimension introduced in the Chronicles of Riddick, remains largely unexplored on-screen, and fans theorize that the film may tie Riddick's heritage to this larger cosmic framework. Additionally, the idea that Riddick could face challenges from other Furians, potentially clones or rival survivors, offers narrative possibilities that would allow the franchise to explore themes of identity, legacy, and destiny in new and compelling ways. Visually, the film is anticipated to combine the dark, atmospheric aesthetic familiar to fans with new environments unique to Furya. Early promotional materials and storyboard images suggest rugged, alien landscapes punctuated by harsh lighting and dramatic action sequences. The combination of practical effects and digital artistry is expected to maintain the franchise's established tone while expanding the visual language of the Riddick universe, offering audiences both the immediacy of survival horror and the grandeur of interstellar epic. In addition to these creative and narrative expectations, the film's production history provides context for its development. Since the release of Riddick in 2013, the fourth film has undergone numerous script revisions, pre-production discussions, and development delays. The official announcement in 2023 confirmed Toohey and Diesel's involvement, signaling a commitment to maintaining continuity in tone and storytelling. Filming in 2024 across Europe reflects both logistical considerations and the desire to create immersive environments for Riddick's journey. Ultimately, Riddick, Furya represents a convergence of confirmed production details, franchise legacy, and fan-driven speculation. The film has the potential to blend high-intensity action, psychological complexity, and rich mythological storytelling, deepening the audience's understanding of Riddick, the Furians, and the wider universe. The balance between official information and community-driven theories highlights the continued engagement and passion of the franchise's fanbase, ensuring that anticipation for the film remains high. In conclusion, Riddick, Furya stands poised to become a defining chapter in the Riddick saga. By revisiting the protagonist's origins, exploring the Furyan homeworld, and potentially resolving long-standing narrative threads, the film promises both spectacle and substance. While much remains unconfirmed, from supporting cast to exact plot details, the combination of Diesel and Tuhi's creative leadership, compelling visual direction, and a rich, fan-engaged mythology creates the potential for a film that is both faithful to the franchise's roots and innovative in its narrative scope. Until official trailers, casting announcements, and release dates are confirmed, the mixture of verified information and fan speculation ensures that Riddick, Furya continues to captivate and intrigue audiences around the world, keeping the legacy of Riddick alive and evolving. The Furyans, Riddick's people, represent one of the most fascinating and largely unexplored aspects of the franchise. While the films provide only glimpses of their culture and abilities, fan speculation and hints from the creators suggest a society shaped by survival, adaptability, and martial prowess. Genetically, Furyans are designed for endurance, strength, and heightened senses, traits that allow them to thrive in environments that would quickly destroy ordinary humans. This genetic enhancement not only provides a practical advantage in combat and survival but also symbolizes the broader thematic exploration of evolution, adaptation, and the consequences of being set apart from the rest of humanity. Riddick embodies these traits to their fullest, yet the presence of other Furyans in Furya may introduce a spectrum of abilities and temperaments, each reflecting different facets of their shared heritage. Culturally, the Furyans may have been structured around principles of resilience, honor, and collective responsibility. The arrival of Riddick on Furya could catalyze a rediscovery of traditional practices, rites, and social hierarchies, providing a narrative vehicle for exploring both personal and societal identity. Within this context, Riddick's character is particularly compelling because he has spent much of his life as a lone wanderer, disconnected from the social structures that shaped him. The tension between individual autonomy and communal obligation is likely to form a central narrative and thematic thread in Furya. His interactions with other Furyans, some allies, some rivals, could illuminate different approaches to leadership, survival, and morality, highlighting the complexity of balancing self-interest with collective well-being. The potential political structures of Furya are another rich area for speculation. If remnants of a Furyan society survive, they may have organized into factions, each with distinct agendas, strategies, and interpretations of Furyan heritage. Riddick's arrival could disrupt existing hierarchies, challenge entrenched power, or unite disparate groups against a common threat. These dynamics would provide a fertile ground for exploring not only action-driven conflict but also the philosophical and ethical dilemmas inherent in leadership, loyalty, and governance. By positioning Riddick as both participant and observer within this political landscape, the narrative can explore questions about legitimacy, power, and the responsibilities of those who possess extraordinary abilities. Thematically, Riddick, Furya offers a unique opportunity to delve into existential questions and the philosophy of survival. The franchise has always juxtaposed extreme action with reflection on human, or post-human, nature. Riddick's journey is not simply about defeating enemies, it is about understanding his own identity, reconciling with his origins, and confronting the consequences of being exceptional in a universe designed to challenge the ordinary. Furya, as his homeworld and the cradle of his species, becomes a metaphorical stage for these explorations. The environment, the remaining Furyans, and the external threats all serve as mirrors for Riddick's internal conflicts, forcing him to confront questions about morality, legacy, and the meaning of survival in both personal and collective contexts. Fan theories have already begun to imagine the possibilities for Furya. Some speculate that the planet may contain hidden technologies, ancient weapons, or environmental anomalies that tie into the broader mythology of the Riddick universe. Others suggest that the antagonistic forces Riddick faces could include rogue Furyans, genetically enhanced adversaries, or remnants of previous interstellar civilizations seeking dominance. These theories, while speculative, reflect the richness of the franchise's narrative potential and the engagement of its fanbase. They also highlight the creative freedom the filmmakers possess in expanding the universe while maintaining narrative continuity and thematic coherence. From a cinematic perspective, Riddick, Furya is poised to deliver a visually stunning experience. The diverse filming locations in Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom provide a natural foundation for representing the alien landscapes of Furya, from stark deserts to rugged mountains, dense forests, or decayed urban centers. These environments can be digitally enhanced with CGI to create a sense of alien grandeur while maintaining the tangible, realistic feel that has been a hallmark of the series. Creature design is likely to play a significant role, blending practical effects and digital artistry to produce predators, monstrous fauna, or otherworldly adversaries that challenge Riddick physically and strategically. The choreography of action sequences will likely combine hand-to-hand combat, tactical use of terrain, and large-scale confrontations, reflecting Riddick's expertise and adaptability. Environmental hazards on Furya may not be limited to hostile creatures. The planet itself could pose natural threats such as extreme temperatures, volatile weather, or geological instability. These elements would reinforce the franchise's signature theme: the universe is inherently hostile, and survival requires both skill and intelligence. By integrating environmental, social, and personal conflicts, the film can create a layered narrative that challenges the protagonist on multiple fronts, maintaining tension and engagement throughout. Riddick's journey on Furya is also likely to incorporate moments of introspection and character development. The confrontation with his past, the rediscovery of cultural roots, and the negotiation of alliances and rivalries offer opportunities for nuanced storytelling. These elements provide balance to the high-octane action sequences, ensuring that the film remains grounded in character-driven narrative even as it explores epic sci-fi scenarios. This interplay between personal growth and external conflict has always been a strength of the franchise, and Furya appears poised to leverage it fully. The potential resolution of Riddick, Furya could have significant implications for the franchise. By exploring the survival and potential revival of the Furyans, the film may set the stage for future stories, expanding the narrative universe and opening possibilities for sequels or spin-offs. Additionally, Riddick's personal arc, reconciliation with his heritage, understanding of his identity, and possible assumption of a leadership or protective role, could provide emotional closure while maintaining narrative flexibility for further exploration. The combination of personal stakes, cultural stakes, and interstellar conflict ensures that Furya is not merely a continuation of prior films but a meaningful evolution of the franchise's thematic and narrative ambitions. The Riddick saga has always been a unique blend of science fiction, horror, and action, with Riddick emerging as one of cinema's most compelling antiheroes. Since his introduction in Pitch Black in 2000, Riddick has captivated audiences with his exceptional survival skills, moral ambiguity, and raw physicality. The franchise has expanded into larger-scale stories, including the Chronicles of Riddick in 2004, which introduced interstellar empires, the Necromongers, and the concept of the Underverse, and Riddick in 2013, which returned to the franchise's survivalist roots, highlighting his primal instincts and adaptability. After more than a decade since the last installment, the franchise is set to return with Riddick, Furya, often referred to as Riddick 4, promising to explore the origins and heritage of its iconic protagonist while expanding the lore of the Furyan race. Riddick, Furya is written and directed by David Twohy, who has consistently guided the narrative and visual tone of the franchise. Vin Diesel reprises the title role, bringing back his combination of cunning, combat expertise, and anti-hero charisma. The production is managed under banners such as One Race Films, Rocket Science, and Thank You Studios. Filming is scheduled across Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom, suggesting a dedication to visually striking sets that can convincingly depict Riddick's homeworld and the diverse environments in which the Furyans survive. Early set images and storyboard art have revealed glimpses of the visual style, dark, rugged landscapes, atmospheric lighting, and the blend of alien beauty with hostile terrain that the franchise is known for. The premise of Riddick, Furya has been described in limited detail. Riddick returns to Furya, a planet that is integral to his identity but one that he barely remembers, to discover that other Furyans are still alive, struggling against a new, unidentified threat. The film is expected to explore themes of identity, legacy, and survival, moving beyond the immediate threats that have defined Riddick's earlier adventures. This homeworld-centric story is a departure from the previous film's focus on isolated survival scenarios or interstellar political conflicts, emphasizing Riddick's connection to his race and the potential for uncovering secrets of Furyan culture and history. While official details remain scarce, the fan community has generated extensive speculation regarding the film's potential plot and characters. One prominent theory involves a new villain, possibly named Amadak, who may pose a direct threat to Furya and its inhabitants. Some speculate that the film could introduce multiple Furyans, perhaps even alternative versions of Riddick, including clones or descendants. These ideas, while unconfirmed, align with the franchise's themes of identity and legacy, providing an opportunity to explore the complexities of Riddick's heritage. Additionally, unresolved plot threads from previous films, such as the Underverse and Threshold, are frequently cited in fan theories, suggesting a potential connection between Riddick's personal journey and a broader cosmic storyline. The question of returning characters has also fueled fan discussions. Diesel's involvement is confirmed, but speculation abounds regarding potential appearances by characters such as Vako or other members of the Necromonger Empire. Some fans hope for Karl Urban's return, which could establish narrative continuity and provide a richer exploration of past conflicts. However, beyond Diesel, no supporting cast members have been officially announced, leaving many narrative possibilities open to interpretation. Fan-made content has further contributed to the public's perception of Furya. Numerous trailers and promotional images circulating online are largely unverified and often created by enthusiasts using footage from previous films, unrelated media, or AI-generated visuals. While some early storyboard art and set images have been officially released, the scarcity of confirmed content has amplified speculation and fueled anticipation within the community. These fan-created materials, although not official, offer insight into the expectations and hopes of the franchise's dedicated audience. The release date for Riddick, Furya remains uncertain. Early projections suggested a mid-2025 release, however, production timelines, combined with Diesel's commitments to other projects, indicate that a more realistic window may be 2027 to 2028 or later. Historically, the franchise has experienced long gaps between films, 9 years between the chronicles of Riddick and Riddick, creating an environment where speculation and fan theory thrive. These delays have contributed to heightened anticipation and ongoing discussions about potential plotlines, characters, and thematic directions. Thematically, the film is expected to retain the franchise's signature intensity, blending visceral action, survivalist tension, and moral ambiguity with an exploration of identity and heritage. By revisiting Furya, the narrative offers the potential to expand the cultural and historical context of the Furyans, shedding light on their society, traditions, and struggles. Riddick's journey may involve moral dilemmas, leadership decisions, and confrontations with both internal and external adversaries, reinforcing the character's complex nature as a survivor, antihero, and potential savior of his people. Fan speculation has also explored the possibility that Furya will provide narrative closure to unresolved arcs from previous films. The Underverse, a cosmic dimension introduced in the Chronicles of Riddick, remains largely unexplored on-screen, and fans theorize that the film may tie Riddick's heritage to this larger cosmic framework. Additionally, the idea that Riddick could face challenges from other Furyans, potentially clones or rival survivors, offers narrative possibilities that would allow the franchise to explore themes of identity, legacy, and destiny in new and compelling ways. Visually, the film is anticipated to combine the dark, atmospheric aesthetic familiar to fans with new environments unique to Furya. Early promotional materials and storyboard images suggest rugged, alien landscapes punctuated by harsh lighting and dramatic action sequences. The combination of practical effects and digital artistry is expected to maintain the franchise's established tone while expanding the visual language of the Riddick universe, offering audiences both the immediacy of survival horror and the grandeur of interstellar epic. In addition to these creative and narrative expectations, the film's production history provides context for its development. Since the release of Riddick in 2013, the fourth film has undergone numerous script revisions, pre-production discussions, and development delays. The official announcement in 2023 confirmed Toohey and Diesel's involvement, signaling a commitment to maintaining continuity in tone and storytelling. Filming in 2024 across Europe reflects both logistical considerations and the desire to create immersive environments for Riddick's journey. Ultimately, Riddick, Furya represents a convergence of confirmed production details, franchise legacy, and fan-driven speculation. The film has the potential to blend high-intensity action, psychological complexity, and rich mythological storytelling, deepening the audience's understanding of Riddick, the Furians, and the wider universe. The balance between official information and community-driven theories highlights the continued engagement and passion of the franchise's fanbase, ensuring that anticipation for the film remains high. In conclusion, Riddick, Furya stands poised to become a defining chapter in the Riddick saga. By revisiting the protagonist's origins, exploring the Furyan homeworld, and potentially resolving long-standing narrative threads, the film promises both spectacle and substance. While much remains unconfirmed, the combination of Diesel and Toohey's creative leadership, compelling visual direction, and a rich, fan-engaged mythology creates the potential for a film that is both faithful to the franchise's roots and innovative in its narrative scope. Until official trailers, casting announcements, and release dates are confirmed, the mixture of verified information and fan speculation ensures that Riddick, Furya continues to captivate and intrigue audiences around the world, keeping the legacy of Riddick alive and evolving. Riddick, Furya is the fourth installment in the Riddick franchise, following Pitch Black, The Chronicles of Riddick, and Riddick. The franchise began in 2000 with Pitch Black, which introduced audiences to the dangerous anti-hero Richard B. Riddick, a convict with surgically altered eyes that allow him to see in the dark. In the first film, Riddick becomes a reluctant survivor after a spaceship crash lands on a desert planet infested with predators. The film was produced on a modest budget and became a cult hit due to its dark, tense atmosphere and gripping survival story. Its success laid the foundation for the expansion of the franchise. The sequel, The Chronicles of Riddick, released in 2004, shifted the scope from survival horror to epic space opera, introducing interplanetary conflicts, the Necromonger Empire, and hints at Riddick's origin as a member of the nearly extinct Furyan warrior race. While the film grossed more than its predecessor, it was considered a commercial disappointment relative to its large production budget. In 2013, the franchise returned with Riddick, a film that combined the darker survival elements of the first movie with modern visual effects. In this installment, Riddick is stranded on a remote planet, facing deadly alien creatures while relying on his combat skills and wits to survive. The film, produced on a smaller budget, restored some of the raw intensity of the original while regaining fan support. Despite the developments in these films, Riddick's origins and the fate of his home planet Furya remained largely unexplored. The lingering mystery surrounding Furya and the survival of other Furians became a key motivator for a fourth film. Discussions for this sequel began as early as 2014, and in 2016, Vin Diesel and David Toohey officially confirmed the development of a new Riddick project initially titled Furya. The filmmakers indicated that the film would carry a mature rating, allowing for darker, more intense themes consistent with the franchise's tone. The script for the project was reportedly completed by 2019, and Diesel shared concept art and storyboards with fans in 2022 and 2023, signaling that production was approaching. Riddick, Furya was officially announced in February 2023, confirming it as the next installment in the franchise. Principal photography began on August 26, 2024, with filming locations including Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. Diesel reprises his role as Riddick, and David Toohey returns as writer and director. The film is produced under Diesel's One Race Films, with additional producers collaborating to ensure continuity and quality. Behind-the-scenes reports and images show elaborate set designs, futuristic vehicles, and a combination of practical and digital effects, suggesting a visually immersive experience in keeping with the series standards. The premise of Riddick, Furya centers on Riddick returning to his home planet, which he barely remembers. He fears that Furya may have been destroyed by the Necromongers, but upon arrival, he discovers that some Furians have survived. These survivors are fighting against a new enemy, and some appear to share traits similar to Riddick himself. This setup allows the film to explore Riddick's origins, the history of the Furyan race, and the broader mythology of the universe, while providing opportunities for intense action and survival sequences. Publicly released concept art shows Riddick exhibiting new powers that may be connected to his Furyan heritage, including glowing energy effects and combat enhancements. Other images depict alien landscapes and desolate environments, hinting at the visual scale of Furya. Behind-the-scenes photos show Diesel in full costume interacting with vehicles and set pieces, reinforcing the franchise's blend of practical effects and CGI. These visuals provide early insight into the environments, characters, and action sequences audiences might expect. As of now, no supporting cast has been officially announced, and no official trailer or release date has been shared. Speculation suggests the film may release between 2025 and 2028, but these details remain unconfirmed. The secrecy surrounding the plot, characters, and promotional material has heightened anticipation, as fans are eager to see how Riddick's story will continue and whether long-standing mysteries about Furya and the Furians will be resolved. Riddick, Furya carries both opportunity and risk. It offers the chance to provide closure regarding Riddick's origins and Furya's fate, potentially expanding the franchise's mythology and setting up future sequels or spin-offs. At the same time, balancing high-stakes action, dark themes, and complex backstory will be challenging. Fan expectations are high, particularly for a satisfying mix of action, mythology, and character development. The film also faces pressure to honor the franchise's history while introducing fresh narrative elements for new audiences. In conclusion, Riddick, Furya is positioned as a major chapter in the Riddick franchise, promising to combine familiar elements such as survival, combat, and darkness with deeper exploration of Riddick's heritage and the Furyan race. Production is underway, and concept art indicates a visually rich, immersive world. While key details like the release date and supporting cast remain unknown, the involvement of Diesel, Tuhi, and the established creative team provides confidence that the film will deliver an engaging, thrilling continuation of the series. Fans and newcomers alike can anticipate a story that delves into identity, survival, and legacy within the unique and dangerous universe that has defined Riddick for over 2 decades. Riddick, Furya is expected to feature a variety of high-stakes sequences that test Riddick's physical and mental abilities while simultaneously advancing the narrative and exploring the lore of his homeworld. One plausible opening sequence could depict Riddick approaching Furya aboard a spacecraft, scanning the planet's surface for signs of life or danger. As he descends, glimpses of jagged mountains, vast deserts, and partially ruined cities may be visible, suggesting a civilization that has endured catastrophic events. The camera may linger on these landscapes, emphasizing the alien yet familiar nature of his origins and setting a tone that is simultaneously awe-inspiring and foreboding. This moment could also establish Furya as a living character in the narrative, reflecting both the planet's resilience and its fragility, while foreshadowing the challenges Riddick will face. Upon landing, Riddick's initial encounters with surviving Furians are likely to be tense and dramatic. Given his reputation and solitary nature, initial mistrust and confrontation are almost inevitable. Scenes may include combat demonstrations, survival tests, or strategic challenges that serve to introduce new characters and illustrate their abilities. These sequences would not only showcase the physical prowess of Riddick and other Furians but also provide narrative exposition regarding the planet's current state, the threats they face, and the social dynamics among survivors. Dialogue, body language, and conflict resolution during these moments could reveal aspects of Furyan culture, hierarchy, and ideology, allowing the audience to understand Riddick's interactions within this society and his evolving role within it. The action sequences in Furya are expected to blend hand-to-hand combat, tactical maneuvers, and environmental engagement. Riddick has always relied on a combination of raw strength, agility, and ingenuity, exploiting terrain and environmental hazards to gain an advantage. In Furya, these skills may be challenged by adversaries who are equally formidable, whether genetically enhanced Furians, alien predators, or remnants of interstellar forces. Scenes could feature vertical combat across cliffs or urban ruins, stealth sequences in darkness where Riddick's night vision abilities give him a tactical edge, and coordinated confrontations where he must leverage alliances and plan ambushes. The choreography is likely to emphasize realism within the context of science fiction, maintaining the gritty, tactile feel characteristic of the franchise while incorporating the grand scale and spectacle expected of modern cinematic action. Environmental hazards are expected to be a persistent element of tension throughout Furya. Harsh weather, unstable terrain, and dangerous wildlife may create continuous challenges for Riddick and his allies. Scenes depicting Riddick navigating sandstorms, volcanic eruptions, or alien forests with predatory fauna would reinforce the theme of survival against overwhelming odds. These sequences would also allow for creative cinematic techniques, such as dynamic camera movements, slow-motion action, and immersive sound design, heightening both suspense and the visual impact. By integrating environmental threats into the narrative, the film can maintain tension even in moments without direct combat, emphasizing the constant danger inherent to Furya and the resourcefulness required to survive there. Fan theories have already speculated about potential enemies in Furya. Some suggest genetically engineered predators left behind from previous conflicts, evolved specifically to hunt Furyans. Others propose that remnants of the Necromonger Empire or rival alien factions may seek control of Furya for its strategic or resource value. There is also speculation that Furya itself may harbor sentient entities or ancient defense mechanisms, creating both physical and ethical challenges for Riddick. These speculative threats align with the franchise's tradition of combining external danger with psychological and strategic complexity, ensuring that Riddick must continually adapt and evolve to overcome challenges that are not purely physical. Connections to the broader franchise mythology are also likely to play a significant role. Elements introduced in previous films, such as the prophecy surrounding Riddick's survival and leadership, the fate of the Necromonger Empire, and the consequences of interstellar power struggles, may intersect with the narrative of Furya. These connections would provide continuity for longtime fans while enriching the stakes of the story. For example, Riddick's interactions with other Furyans could reveal historical ties to events seen in the Chronicles of Riddick, deepening the lore and providing context for his actions. Additionally, Furya could serve as a narrative bridge to potential sequels, introducing threads that set up future conflicts, alliances, and explorations of the universe. Cinematically, Riddick, Furya is poised to blend practical effects and CGI in ways that enhance both realism and spectacle. Creature design may include hybridized predators, genetically enhanced adversaries, or alien fauna, each visually distinct and adapted to the environmental hazards of Furya. The lighting, color grading, and visual style will likely continue the franchise's tradition of creating stark contrasts between darkness and light, emphasizing Riddick's night vision capabilities and reinforcing the mood of isolation, danger, and discovery. Sound design will complement the visuals, with ambient planetary sounds, creature effects, and intense combat audio enhancing immersion and tension. These cinematic elements will not only support the narrative but also reinforce the thematic exploration of survival, identity, and adaptation in a hostile universe. The potential narrative structure of Furya may follow a progression from exploration to confrontation to resolution. Early sequences may establish the stakes, introduce characters, and depict Riddick's initial strategies for navigating the threats of Furya. Mid-film sequences could escalate conflict, reveal hidden dangers, and force Riddick to adapt both tactically and morally. Climactic scenes are likely to combine intense combat, strategic problem-solving, and emotional confrontation, culminating in a resolution that addresses both personal and cultural stakes. The denouement may provide insight into the fate of the Furyans, Riddick's evolving role among his people, and potential threads for future installments. This structure balances action with character development and thematic exploration, ensuring that Furya is not only a visual spectacle but also a narrative and emotional journey. Regarding release and marketing, the film's production timeline suggests a potential release window between 2027 and 2028. While no official trailer has been released, early promotional material and interviews from the creative team hint at an epic scope, immersive environments, and a focus on both action and mythology. The anticipation among fans is high, reflecting the franchise's enduring popularity and the curiosity surrounding Riddick's return to his homeworld. Marketing campaigns are likely to emphasize the film's visual grandeur, Riddick's iconic presence, and the exploration of Furya as a central narrative and thematic element, appealing to both longtime followers and new audiences seeking high-quality science fiction adventure. Fan theories and speculation have always been central to the Riddick franchise, especially given the scarcity of official information. With Furya, fans have generated a wide range of ideas regarding plot, characters, and potential themes. One common theory is that the film will explore Furyan heritage and culture in depth, showing what life was like on Furya before the Purge and how the surviving Furyans have adapted. This could involve ancient cities, lost technologies, or remnants of Furyan traditions, providing context to Riddick's origins and the history of his people. Another popular speculation revolves around the presence of multiple Furyans. Some fans suggest that there may be more than one survivor or descendant, leading to potential conflict or alliances. There is even the possibility of clones or alternative versions of Riddick appearing, which would raise questions about identity, leadership, and the survival of the Furyan lineage. Such plotlines could also tie into unresolved narrative threads from previous films, such as the Underverse or Threshold, creating opportunities to connect Riddick's personal story with the broader cosmic mythology. The identity of the new enemy has also sparked much discussion. Some fans believe this antagonist could be a remnant of the Necromongers, while others suggest it might be a rogue Furyan faction or a previously unknown alien threat. There is also speculation that the enemy may have a connection to the Underverse, which would allow the film to blend horror, action, and cosmic sci-fi in a way that aligns with the franchise's established tone. The suspense surrounding this threat adds an element of unpredictability to the narrative, keeping fans engaged and excited. Returning characters are another area of speculation. While Vin Diesel's involvement is confirmed, fans have suggested that past characters such as Vako or other Necromongers could make an appearance. This would provide continuity with the chronicles of Riddick and offer opportunities to resolve lingering storylines. The presence of familiar characters could also help bridge the gap between the past films and the new narrative, adding depth and complexity to the story. Many fans also expect the film to retain the signature horror survival tone of the original Pitch Black and Riddick, 2013, while incorporating mythological and cosmic elements. The combination of primal survival, dark atmospheric environments, and high-stakes conflict could make Furya both a thrilling action movie and a deeply immersive exploration of the Riddick universe. The expectation is that the film will balance intense combat sequences with moral dilemmas, internal conflicts, and exploration of heritage, providing emotional and narrative depth. Themes of identity, legacy, and survival are anticipated to be central to the story. Riddick's journey may involve navigating leadership roles, confronting past mistakes, and making decisions that impact not only himself but also the remaining Furyans. This could lead to dramatic character development, showing a more nuanced and multidimensional side of Riddick beyond his antihero persona. The film has the potential to explore what it means to be the last of a race and the responsibilities that come with that position. From a franchise perspective, Furya represents a natural progression. The first three films established Riddick as a survivor, a warrior, and a fugitive in a complex universe. Exploring his homeworld and heritage allows the franchise to address unanswered questions, deepen the mythology, and expand the narrative scope. It also provides opportunities for rich world building, including new environments, species, and cultural elements, while staying grounded in the core themes that have always defined the series. However, there are risks and challenges. Balancing complex lore with accessibility for new viewers will be crucial. Introducing multiple new elements, such as additional Furyans, a new enemy, and expanded cosmic mythology, could make the story convoluted if not handled carefully. Tone consistency is another concern. The film must retain the franchise's dark, survivalist atmosphere while incorporating larger-scale mythology and action sequences. Production and budget constraints, particularly regarding elaborate sets, visual effects, and creature design, could also impact the final product. Casting choices and character development will be important to ensure the world feels populated and believable beyond Riddick himself. A successful Furya would likely feature a compelling depiction of Furyan society, character-driven arcs, and a credible and formidable antagonist. The narrative should blend survival, horror, and cosmic sci-fi, providing moral ambiguity and emotional stakes. Visual and atmospheric ambition, including rugged landscapes, alien architecture, and immersive cinematography, would enhance the storytelling. Ideally, the film would provide both closure and opportunities for future stories, offering answers about Furya and the Furyans while leaving room for the franchise to expand. Based on the official synopsis and popular fan speculation, a potential storyline for Riddick, Furya could involve Riddick returning to his homeworld and finding a scattered community of surviving Furyans. A new enemy threatens their survival, forcing Riddick into a leadership role he never sought. Internal conflict among the Furyans and the moral dilemmas he faces would drive the narrative, while uncovering Furyan history and ancient technologies would provide context and depth. The climax might involve a confrontation with the enemy, with sacrifices and moral choices shaping the outcome. The story could end with a tentative new beginning for the Furyans, leaving the door open for future adventures. Ultimately, Riddick, Furya has the potential to revitalize the franchise by blending action, horror, mythological storytelling, and emotional depth. By exploring Riddick's origins, the fate of the Furyans, and the cosmic mythology introduced in previous films, the movie can offer both spectacle and substance. The combination of confirmed production details, franchise legacy, and fan-driven speculation ensures that anticipation remains high. If executed well, Furya could become a defining entry in the Riddick saga, providing answers to long-standing questions while opening new possibilities for the universe and its characters. Riddick, Furya is the fourth installment in the Riddick franchise, following Pitch Black, 2000, The Chronicles of Riddick, 2004, and Riddick, 2013. The franchise began with Pitch Black, which introduced audiences to Richard B. Riddick, a dangerous and cunning anti-hero whose surgically altered eyes allow him to see in the dark. In the first film, Riddick is a convict who becomes a reluctant survivor when a spaceship crash lands on a remote desert planet inhabited by deadly predators. The film was produced on a modest budget and achieved cult status due to its dark, tense atmosphere, tight storytelling, and the primal thrill of survival. The success of Pitch Black laid the groundwork for expanding the Riddick universe into a larger saga, including sequels and animated media.